Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. For those listening and are not here, we are in what is called Blarney. We'd like to introduce all of you to the Master Teacher, Gaia. This is an area that is unique on the planet, the south of what you call Ireland. It is unique because of its purity, but the way it speaks is unique. There is nothing in the way of total and complete understanding and communication from you to the planet. This day right now has been prepared for you. You do not fight the elements at this moment. There are no issues with the weather. For you to be aware of something, I would like to tell you. It is not something that is unusual for you to feel that which is the land. But I want to give you a concept that you may not be aware of. We have told you before that the life force of the planet and all that is supports the test of humanity on this place called Earth. That all of the balance of nature is for you. We ask you to respect it, to ally yourself with it, to feel it. But I want to be clear. It knows who you are. Do you think it is possible at this very moment that that which is the life force of Gaia itself, the essence of Pachamama, would know your name and where you are and why you're here? To gaze upon its history, perhaps, to feel its beauty, perhaps. But did you ever think of the handshake, of the welcome it would have to you by name? Gaia is in support of humanity. It knows you by name. You walk in this place, you're on this tour. There are no accidents that you are here. How clear can you be to receive something from a place on the planet that is unique and unusual in its openness, in its clarity, in its purity? For it invites you to become as pure as it is. Gaia is compassionate. It is in balance. It is a model for all of humanity. But it knows your name. And this is a concept that is not necessarily taught. You are here to look in awe, perhaps, and to feel things that are precious. Did you ever think that this area where you sit, this beautiful lawn, the sky, all of these things was expecting you today and has its name on the lips of the wind? Welcome to the purity of the planet. There is teaching here. And the teaching is, can you be as clear? The planet does not feature an intellectualism or drama. Gaia is always open and balanced in all ways, especially if it's left alone. And here it is. Indeed, you are in a major tourist area, and I will tell you, Gaia doesn't care. It expected you. It knows you. It knows the reasons why you came. And the handshake can be complete. The Master Teacher wants to invite you to clear the drama that you came with, the problems that you might be thinking of, anything that would get in the way of the joy and the beauty and the purity that you can hear in the songs of the birds, in the bubbling of the water, in the wind and the trees. Ally with these things, and know that there is a handshake. You were expected today. Think on these things as you split now and go about your ways, and see what you came to see and feel what you came to feel. And so it is. Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. Before we give any information at all in this sacred place, it is appropriate to ask the guardians for permission to speak, for permission to speak on the energy, for permission to teach. Not all of the places we will go to will a permission be needed. This is a sacred place. It's an old place. You're at the stone circle. And so we ask the guardians if it's proper, if it's okay. And they answer, and my partner may not like this, but they say it is all right for Kryon to deliver the message, but my partner must complete one circle. He has not yet done it. Hold this, please. Is it appropriate to continue? And the guardians say yes. Now, what you just saw, let me explain. There's no rules here of how many times or what to do. There is only respect. And the respect is for the directions, for the earth, for the stars, for what has happened here, for the creators, for the intent. For the circle is still here, visited by many who are simply curious and by others who feel the energies. And so the completion of the circle by my partner was something that the guardian said, please, in respect. And so it has been done. The circle has been here a long time. You can say many, many things about it. But we're just going to take a brief moment. And the brief moment is to give you a metaphor. If you look at the circle, the traditions are known. In the middle there is a central stone, known perhaps for its healing qualities. If the human being is ripe for it, is ready for it, this is common. The circle is aligned, as so many are, with the stars, as so many are. Remember, in the days of the constructions of these kinds of things, that's all there was. And the stars really, truly said it all. They moved in a certain way, they spoke in a certain way. And from here to the lands of even Egypt, the alignment of the stars is well known. Now let's put a metaphor together, just for a moment. Dear ones, what if the circle represented you? Just for a moment, pretend. Those listening who have not seen the circle, with the stones around and the ones in the middle, it's common. But what if it was you? And I ask this because I'm going to ask you a question about what you would do with something. First of all, are you aligned with the stars? And the answer is yes, totally. The seeds of the Pleiadian are still with you from the Seven Sisters. Your alignment with the stars, biologically, sacred, is known. Are you sacred enough to have guardians around you? And the answer is yes. We have told you about the angelic qualities of the human being, of those who walk with you. Whether you ever talk to them or not, whether you ever say hello or not, you have your own circle as well. In the middle of this circle, there's a central stone, and it's a healing stone. Would there be one in you? Would you call it your heart? Or would you call it your pineal? Would you call it the triad? There would be something in the middle of the circle of you. Is it even possible or conceivable that many circles were constructed to honor the human, or perhaps to honor the sacredness of the ancients who were human? Now, if you look at this circle, you will see the stones on the outside. They don't have faces. There is no forward or backward. There's no seeming writing. They're just stones. But let us say for a moment in your circle you had the option of carving an inside and an outside of every single stone in the circumference. And here's what I'm going to ask you right now as you build this circle. Would you have the faces of the stones face outward or inward? It's simple. Which one and why? And I'm going to tell you right now that no matter what your answer was, it is the metaphor of the changing energy on this planet. For a number of years ago, if we had asked which direction should they face, you would say outward. That they all should face outward. And that would be for protection. To intercept any energy that was not appropriate, to allow for the clearing, for defense of energy, to keep the circle precious and sacred and untouched. A light rain is beginning to fall as we conclude. Then there are those who would say, no, the faces should be inward in order to honor the center. And there would be those who would say this is not appropriate because an inward-facing circle would mean it was egotistical. You're looking at yourself always. And I will tell you now that the difference between the old and the new energy, dear ones, is this. This is the crux of it all. For the faces always faced outward, and all of the worship was outward. And all of the help was outward. The protection was necessary. And suddenly we're telling you it isn't. That the faces should now face inward because there is no danger. There is no ego when you take a look at the inside of yourself, the divinity of yourself, the healing stone. Imagine all of the faces looking at the heart. All of that, which you would call worship, would be to the middle, where God is, in you, aligned with the stars. Can you be your own circle? And if you would be, do you have the courage to turn the rocks around? Because, dear ones, most human beings have them facing outward. Let them face inward, so that you can finally see that which was in is precious and sacred, just like the circle is sacred and was built by the ancients, you and your past lives on this planet. You have your own circle. Leave this place knowing that you all participate in the ancients in some way. We ask permission of the guardians to close the message. And so it is. Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. And how does one expand the consciousness while in the human state? Let's start at the beginning. For those who are not here, The group sits respectfully in an abbey in front of what is called a super tree. It is called that because of the wisdom in the roots and because of the acknowledged age. No one knows the age of the tree that we sit around in the middle of the abbey. It is said to be at least 700 years old. The truth is, it's over 1,000. And the tree is a symbol and a teacher. And it can be the teacher today just for the moment. And so I ask permission from Gaia, from the roots, from whence the tree came, for this short message and teaching. And not only does the tree acknowledge our presence here, but it reminds us of how young we are. But it also sees something else. We look at the tree and we see the age and the wisdom and we respect it. We're in awe of it. We feel it. And we say we, because even I, as Kryon, aware of age, understand what is happening here. But the tree sees you. We said this yesterday. Now this is the third channeling. It is the catalyst channeling, number 3. The catalyst is that the information today will go out and mean things and create different energies for different human beings. The tree sees you as eternal, for it sees the energy of the human being, the individual soul. For the tree represents Gaia, the very planet, and the love of Gaia for you is that it would be here at all to teach. I want you to think for a moment, what is the process where you would have nature arrange itself in such a way that human beings would gather and listen? Listen to the tree. As odd as this sounds, those who understand nature knows that nature is indeed the great teacher. Once again, we speak of this. I'll tell you in a minute what the tree wants you to know today specifically about expanded consciousness. But just for a moment, I want you to be aware of the two-way communication that is here. The tree knows you. It sees the eternalness of your soul. How many past lives have you had? And the tree knows that your age dwarfs it. And yet the human corporeal self knows that the tree is far older than you are. There's a symbiotic relationship of age and respect. A two-way communication, not one way. But in this lifetime and in this age, the tree wants you to know how to expand consciousness. And it has one message. Look at the metaphor of the tree today. If it has all of this wisdom and knowledge, what if it had the secrets of the ages? What if it knew more than you even thought it knew? What if it has seen things, been aware of whispered secrets even around it? What if the roots extended so far it went even beyond this city, in this town, in this abbey, so that it had a greater knowledge because it extended to all the trees? And yet it sits there and does nothing. With that kind of knowledge, don't you think that it would be excited? It would want to wave around the branches, would say, come here, come here, come here. I've got things to say, please. And you'd feel the swaying of it and the moving of it and the excitement of it all. And yet it doesn't move. It does nothing but sit there in its majesty and its silence and its patience. This is the lesson for today. This planet may seem volatile. Have you noticed the weather even here? No matter what happens, the sun comes out, the birds sing. Patience is the key. It sits there in majesty with all of this wisdom, so much to say. And what it says to you, that if you're quiet enough, like the tree, you'll hear it. Not only hear it, you will be aware of it. Not only that, you'll have the messages of it to take away that says no matter what's happening in your life right now that you believe is unacceptable or maybe even terrible to you because they're so anxious. There are things going on perhaps in your body or around you. It's a storm. And the tree says to you, the sun will eventually come out and the birds will sing. And all things will be that which is in balance, just like the tree. This is Gaia, the great teacher to humanity. But right now, the expansion of consciousness is more about balance and patience and understanding. The tree does not wave around in its excitement. It doesn't have to. It carries everything it has to say to you in silence and majesty and asks you to emulate this in your mastery. That's enough for today. And so it is. Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. Just a brief message. Sometimes logic is the way of things. Connecting the dots is the way of things. There is so much said about such an ancient place that you sit in now. The Abbey on an ancient island surrounded by water that supposedly dates back to 400. Founded by monks with no order, they say. Now, if you think about that, if you have no order, that is to say you're not part of a group other than that which is yourself. It means that there is no overwhelming doctrine that you are adhering to except that which is yourself, no order. Then you find out that they are responsible for so much knowledge. Books and books. Then you find out that perhaps the seed of herbology and more was here. What you don't know is they also were heavily into numerology, which was here. The energy of numbers, the meaning of numbers, even the ones that they see in the sky, the collections of things, how they work, why they work. Then there is the specter of perhaps they knew about youthing the human body. If you start to connect the dots, there is an option here to consider. Before we tell you what that might be, let us also discover why they put it on an island. Now, the reasoning goes that it's always on an island for isolation and perhaps defense, but this was even before the Vikings. So yes, it was isolation, to be free and clear of any of the land around them, to be isolated, but there is more. I will tell you, in those days, when all you have is the elements, the sky above, the water around, the earth below, it's all you have, that everything is a metaphor, carefully designed, carefully aligned to say things long after they're gone. The reason it is an island is because it is filled with reflection. The water surrounds them. It's a reflective time. And so they were all about teaching going inward because they knew that all of the secrets of everything was in the God inside. The divine lives inside. And so this means that the monks on this island so long ago were channeling. The definition of channeling, dear ones, is where you can reach a place that is so serene and peace and connected with the Gaia energy, with the stars, with that around you, which is the creative source, that out will fly information like you're hearing now. What about you? Now you're here. Their legacy remains, and if you could interview them, in any language right now, if they were here right now, they would ask the believer and the unbeliever alike in this circle one question. When you reflect on everything, what do you see? Are you pleased with you? And if you're not, the question is, then you haven't really understood anything about who you are. Is it possible that there is a grand you inside that is compassionate, that really can channel? And what I mean by channel is channel your own youth, channel your own health, channel solutions to drama in your life. I know who is here in the circle. And all of them, in all of their sacrifice, in all of the years, reflective to the max, are saying now to you, when you reflect on you, can you see God inside even a little? Can you understand that when you reach inside with pure intent, there is a peaceful countenance that aligns with the peace of Gaia, which flows right now up through you in this marvelous place? Some of us, my partner included, and that's why the us, must come to places that speak to the cellular biology in order to understand the spiritual. They are together. It is not religious. It is not to be worshipped. It's spiritual. You're part of the creative source, not a system of church, but a spiritual system that is beautiful beyond any kind of doctrine. There is nothing wrong with the worship, the structure. All of it has its place, but dear ones, at the heart of it is the Creator, and it's inside you. That is this brief message in this place, built for you to sit and reflect and feel what they felt. They were aligned with the planet, and all of them were channeling truth written in books for thousands of years. Reflect now on yourself. And so it is.